I'm crossing over to the dark side.
Why should I waste money lighting the whole store?
Let's kick things off with a banger. How about one of the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes? We'll do Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Part 5. Just saying rest in peace to the voice actors because they're legendary. I do feel bad because we're gonna expose some mistakes. Here's the first one, and let's see if you guys can catch it without my help. I'm gonna reveal and explain the mistake, but before I reveal it, try to comment it if you guys catch it. All right, roll the footage.
Name their new alliance. Every villain is Lemons, otherwise known as evil.
Come on, I know you guys caught this one because this one is blatant. I don't know how Nickelodeon staff or Rough Draft Korea, the people who animate SpongeBob, did not catch this one. But to be fair, the episode's like over 20 years old, but anyways, in the Every Villain is Lemons TV sequence, look, the word villain is incorrectly spelt. Villain is supposed to be spelt as V-I-L-L-A-I-N, but they got it a little mixed up in this shot right here. I wonder how many kids went on to think that this is how you spell villain. It's a funny mistake, but here's one that's a lot more spicy from the same episode. Roll the footage.
I don't. Oh, yes, you do. No world means no money. Now, go save the world, or you're fired.
You guys are legends if you caught this, but when Mr. Krabs is talking to Squidward in the clips you guys just saw and says, no world means no money, look, his right arm is missing. It's kind of an awkward shot, which justifies it a little bit, but they still should have drawn dude's arm, especially if Mr. Krabs wants to be counting all that money, money, money. He needs those arms, so yeah. Here's another mistake from Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Part 5, and this one's a lot worse.
Need a hand? Super pal.
This one's closer to the ending of the episode. It's actually in the very final scene when Barnacle Boy says need a hand super pal and reunites with his best bud Mermaid Man. So nice. If you look closely, his mask, the side parts of his mask turn to the same color as his skin for this one frame, which is majorly incorrect. That's not supposed to be the same color as his skin. To be fair, it's only for one frame, but I mean, come on man, it's still a mistake. And believe it or not, I've got one more from this episode.
Nothing will stop me from defeating the evil! Nothing!
Did you guys catch that one? If not, don't worry, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. So, when Mermaid Man says that he will fight the evil after the news report plays, it seems that one of his suspenders cuts off before reaching his shoulder, as you can see right here. Maybe Mermaid Man needs to lay off the Krabby Patties. He might be getting too big for that seashell bra he's wearing. Anyways, though, let's head over to another episode, guys, with more mistakes, and trust me, you do not want to miss these ones. This episode almost got canceled because of the mistakes.
Oh no! Your bathroom is a disaster. Get it cleaned up fast with the new sponge.
Next up, we have the Season 7 episode Model Sponge, which I actually personally like. SpongeBob starts to think he's like a famous actor in the episode. Well, actually, SpongeBob thinks that he's gonna become a famous actor. It doesn't actually go that way. He actually gets used to clean the sink. Anyways, though, we're here for mistakes. Here's the first one, and it is weird. Be prepared.
I am a fry cook. That's what I am, and that's what I've always been. I'm sorry to waste your time, mister.
It happens really, really fast, so I cannot blame you guys if you didn't catch it, but when SpongeBob says in the clips you guys just saw, I'm sorry to waste your time, mister, his normally gray spatula that's literally always gray in every other episode randomly turns yellow for a split second. Like, what? For this one, it's just confusing. I don't know if it's a layering issue. I don't really know what happened here. Maybe they originally drew it yellow and then realized it was supposed to be gray and fixed it in post, but for one frame they slipped up. I don't know. But stay tuned because the next mistake we're going to be covering from this next episode is going to blow your brain. Let's do it.
SpongeBob.
Okay, I'll tell ya.
Your order, ma'am.
I'm not using my hands because today is Work Without Your Hands Day.
Some of my favorite SpongeBob episodes are the ones that have to do with King Neptune. He's a cool character and he always has something interesting to say. His son though, Triton, now that's a whole different story. Next up, we've got the Clash of Triton, which is all about King Neptune's son, who's like a spoiled brat, actually. Enough about all that though. We're here for mistakes. It's what you guys clicked on this video for, so here's the first one.
Oh, let's go home, son.
Okay, so this right here is Queen Amphitrite. I might have said it incorrectly, but she does come from Greek mythology, just saying. But yeah, this is her design from SpongeBob. I'm showing a PNG here, and as you can see on her belt right here, she has a seahorse on it right here. Remember this as it's very important, as if we watch closely in the clips I just showed you guys, when she's about to close this door of the carriage after Neptune and Triton return, look, the seahorse I just mentioned has vanished from her belt. Now, it's most likely due to this scene and how it's animated, but it should still be there despite this. Like, it's like the animators were just too lazy to draw it in this one shot, which can be excused, but this next error, not so much.
What is going on in here?
This one was actually very hard to find, but in the scene you guys just saw where Neptune opens the door to Triton's room, if we watch very closely, Triton's skin, specifically between his vest and his belt, turns red. Here's another shot of him from the same episode where that part is not red. So in this scene, when the doors open for Triton's room and that part of his skin is red, it is totally a mistake, guys, and a rough one. And here's another one from this episode. I'd say it's even worse, to be honest. Roll the footage.
Party decorations for what? So it's my old man's birthday. I am. Fingernails, man!
You're right.
So it takes place in the scenes where SpongeBob first meets Triton when he's in the cage. And if we look at this lock right here, it actually changes multiple times. This is how it looks at first. Then it changes to this. There are these shots where it has like no art on it. And there's even one shot where it's solved before it's actually supposed to be solved. So very messy scene right here. This lock changes multiple times and that is a mistake. And guys, if you thought these were bad, you will not believe the ones coming up in our next episode. Let's keep it moving.
Hold on. Did you hear that? It sounds like despair.
Let's expose some more mistakes in the episode Single Cell Anniversary from season 6. It isn't necessarily the best episode, but it's one of the few episodes to actually focus on the marriage of Plankton and Karen, which is cool. I like when we get more episodes that build the world of SpongeBob and Bikini Bottom, but I'm being a nerd and we're here for mistakes. So here's the first one, and let's see if you guys can spot it before I reveal it. Try to comment the mistake before I actually tell you. All right, got it? Roll the footage.
Percent loaded.
How do you turn this thing off?
Did you guys catch it? Well, don't worry, Cartoon Corey's going to explain. So, when SpongeBob attempts to Control-Alt-Delete Karen, he literally tries to kill Karen and delete her, we can see that the keyboard keys that he uses are white, alright? Remember this is a white keyboard, alright? And it should stay white for this entire episode. Well, plot twist, that isn't what happens, as when Karen begins to short circuit, look, those white keys are now suddenly red, making for a wacky continuity error, like the keys of a keyboard don't randomly change color, guys. The animators originally drew them as white and then forgot and drew them as red, which is a mistake. And we've got another one from this episode. Let's keep it rolling.
You done to my daughter. You made her cry. You know, she could have been with an ATM. Someone with money. But she chose you. I don't know why.
Mistake number 2 is actually pretty simple. You know this is a very common mistake in SpongeBob, but canonically speaking, the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket are directly across from each other. Here's one example of this, and here's another example of this. Heck, here's even a third example so you guys know I'm not capping, alright? The Krusty Krab and Chum Bucket are directly across from another, and there's a path that connects them. Well, near the ending of this episode's Single Cell Anniversary, when the camera zooms out of the Chum Bucket, look, the pathway to the Krusty Krab is missing. Hey, this is a lot better than before. There are times where like they don't even draw the Krusty Krab, but at least this time it's just the path. However, though, it is still a sneaky little mistake. I got you, Nickelodeon, I caught it. We still ain't done yet though. Let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. Things are really gonna get spicy from here.
Violin!
Whew. Now my house can withstand anything nature has to throw at us.
I guess Squidward's not part of nature.
This is another nitpick, so I'm gonna make it very quick. It's in the episode Pineapple Fever. I'm gonna roll the clip and let's see if you guys can catch it. It has to do with this book that SpongeBob's reading, all right? Roll that footage. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Congratulations, Squidward.
Did you guys catch it? This one's kind of a tricky one, all right? So, this tic-tac-toe rules book that SpongeBob is reading, all right? If you look closely, the title of the book is on the right side of the book, which is incorrect. It should be on the left. This is how a normal book looks, guys, and based on how you would read a book, where you're turning each page to the left, the title of a book would be on the left side of it. SpongeBob isn't reading manga over here. My boy ain't reading the new chapter of Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, this is technically a mistake. I'm being a total nerd, but still technically a mistake. And let's head over to an episode with some good mistakes.
You have no idea what day tomorrow is, do you?
None at all.
It's my 16th birthday!
I knew that!
You know, Mr. Krabs is a very, very greedy father, all right? But at the same time, Pearl is kind of a spoiled brat at times, all right? She's very entitled, but again, to be fair, her dad does, like, suck. Like, look at this clip where Mr. Krabs tries to give Pearl ketchup and crackers and calls it pizza.
Here, would your friends like some pizza? You can have your allowance early.
Ketchup!
See, you put it on the crackers. Gotta want a spicy pizza pie.
Yeah, this man is a cheapskate, and this is definitely the case in the episode Whale of a Birthday, where Mr. Krabs sends SpongeBob to get Pearl a present, just he doesn't want to spend a ton of money. At least he's not getting her squeaky boots this time. Now, this episode has a few mistakes. Here's the first one, let's dive right in.
It's Billy Fishkin! Hi, Billy!
Meep. Oh, isn't he dreamy?
This first one's pretty simple, but it's still pretty bad at the same time. So when Pearl and her friends meet Billy Fishkins over here, and we get this shot while facing in front, for about one frame, her heart lipstick just disappears. It's only for a single frame, so I mean it's not that big of a deal, plus this is a 2D animated cartoon. But hey, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just reporting the mistake and this is a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode.
Sea pony is the cutest thing ever! Do you want to come home and be my pony?
Now, this one is actually really bad, and it's also pretty weird at the same time. I have no idea how something like this happened. As you guys saw in the clips, Pearl and her friends are at the mall, and in this scene, she looks at the sea pony. Now, in the first shot, it shows the dog-fish tank right next to it, all right? It's two separate, like, tanks beside each other. Remember this. I know I'm over-explaining it, but two separate tanks with animals in them beside each other, with a clear separation of the two tanks. However, though, a few seconds later, and now look, it's completely transformed, and now it's one tank, with the sea pony sharing it with the dogfish. So like I said, this one's really bad. First they drew it like this, and then forgot because seconds later they draw it like this. Like, what? I have no clue how this happened, but what can you do, guys? Actually, what we can do is head over to another episode with more mistakes.
Hey, Squidward, we blew a fuse.
I'm gonna blow a fuse if you don't get that order up.
Next up, we have the inside job. So I'm totally nitpicking with this one, so I'm going to make it quick, and don't worry guys, the other mistakes we're gonna be covering are actually good, but in the episode The Inside Job, there's this mistake. Roll the footage.
So cheesy.
Did you guys catch it? Well, as you guys can see, Plankton's inside SpongeBob's body and we can see his heart. But it should be doing something that it isn't doing in this shot, and that's beating. A heart is constantly beating. That's how, you stay alive. So again, like I said, I'm nitpicking, but the heart not beating in this one shot is technically a mistake. You guys know Cartoon Corey loves his classic episodes. We'll be doing No Weenies Allowed. And I know if you're an old school SpongeBob fan, you know this episode. It's the one where SpongeBob becomes desperate to get into the salty spittoon after Sandy's allowed and he's not allowed. To be honest, I'd be pretty cheesed about that too. Like, your girl gets in, but you can't get in. Anyways though, here's the first mistake, and let's see if you guys can catch it without my help. Try to comment the mistake before I actually reveal it. All right, roll that footage.
Sandy? Oh, what happened?
You ran inside and slipped out an ice cube.
Okay, did you guys catch it? If not, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. As you can see in these shots of Sandy right here, she is a squirrel and she has a tail. It's a big part of her design because, you know, she's a squirrel. But there are two scenes in this episode where her tail just was not drawn for some strange reason. They're both when they're in the ambulance. There's this shot right here that's more of a zoomed out shot, and as you can see, her tail is gone. This one's especially bad because of how zoomed out it is. And the second is this shot, which is a little more excusable. It's more zoomed in, and maybe because of the angle, you just can't see it. But either way, we should be able to see her tail in both of these shots, and this was a little goof on the animator's end. Anyways, though, let's head over to another episode, and this is where things are really gonna get spicy, so stay tuned.
I went out and dug one up.
Where did you get this old thing?
She looks so peaceful. But wasn't she wearing a hat?
We're jumping over to season 5 for this next one. The episode is Enemy-in-Law, and this episode is all about Plankton falling in love with Mr. Krabs' mom. I'd be so upset. My arch rival starts trying to rizz up my mother. That would be a scrap. But anyways, here's the first mistake.
I've reservations for 2.
Your gentleman caller.
You guys may have noticed, but when Plankton walks into the Krusty Krab with a rose for Mr. Krabs' mom, there is a burger sticker on the window right here. We're circling it, we're zooming in, remember this burger sticker right here. Now it should be here for the remainder of the episode. However, once Plankton gets inside of the restaurant, look, that sticker has just magically disappeared randomly. Weird. Here's mistake number 2.
Eugene!
All you love is thieving and conniving. Now stop trying to get the formula out of me, mother!
This one's more of a strange one, but when Mr. Krabs barges into the Chum bucket in anger, some scenes show these red pipes on the wall right here. Remember them, they should be here for the entire scene. But in some shots where we see the exact same wall, which should have those red pipes, they're not there. So the animators drew the red pipes at first, and then in some shots just were too lazy to draw them again. Not a huge deal, but definitely a mistake. And guys, stay tuned because these next set of mistakes we're gonna be covering are going to blow your mind.
That was close.
It sure was. I almost didn't catch this bus.
Next up, let's head over to season 12 and talk about a fairly good episode that I personally enjoyed, that being Squid on a Bus, which I mean, the title's pretty self-explanatory for this one, guys. It's about Squidward taking the bus. It's a good episode, but like most episodes of SpongeBob, it does have 3 mistakes hidden in it, and these mistakes are really, really bad, guys. Here's mistake number 1.
Where's that bus? I've been waiting for almost an hour!
So in the opening of the episode, Squidward appears to be wearing a watch on his right wrist, right? You can see it right here. I'm zooming in on it. But seconds later, when the bus door opens, Squidward's watch is just missing now. I doubt the dude took it off to go in the bus. What I think happened is in this first shot right here, the animators drew him with a watch, but then the animators forgot about the watch because in this scene, the watch is just gone. Poof, it went missing. And that's not the only thing missing in the beginning of the episode, as there's another mistake that's kind of similar to this one. Roll the footage again.
I've been waiting for almost an hour!
Almost an hour, he says.
Did ya catch it? Well, take a look at this shot of Conch Street right here. As you can see, it goes Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and then good old SpongeBob's house right here, that old-fashioned pineapple house. Now I'm hungry. But in that opening scene, where is SpongeBob's house? It should be right there. You could say that, you know, it just wasn't on the screen, but the distance between Squidward's house and SpongeBob's house is not that wide, and I'm pretty sure the animators were just feeling kind of lazy in this scene and didn't draw SpongeBob's house, which is still technically a mistake. But wait, there's more. Here's mistake number 3. Let's see if you guys can catch this one. Man, 3 mistakes in one episode is like really bad. Nickelodeon be slacking, boy. But take a look at this shot from inside the bus when the bus starts rocking. As you can see, there are passengers inside. They're chilling inside the bus. But when we get the same shot from the outside view, why is Squidward the only one on the bus? The passengers just disappeared? They're gone? Poof? Talk about a mistake, a continuity mistake, and let's keep the video moving, guys.
I'm gonna have some of your delicious peanut brittle. Where's the peanut brittle? Hey, peanut brittle! Oh, darn it!
Next up, we've got another classic banger. I'm talking about Pranks-A-Lot. I feel like this is actually an underrated older episode of SpongeBob. People don't talk about it enough. Well, I'm gonna talk about it today, but I mean, the context is kind of bad because we're gonna be exposing some mistakes. Here's the first one.
Ha! Exploding chewing gum, only $9.95.
I don't get it.
This first one is a spelling error, and it has to do with the exploding chewing gum box that this dude tries to sell to SpongeBob. Exploding chewing gum sounds insane. But anyways, it should read as exploding, so E-X-P-L-O-D-I-N-G, but instead that first O seems to be replaced with a P. It might be due to the type of writing, but I do think this was a spelling mistake. Here's mistake number 2 from this episode though.
Too late, crabs! We've already clogged all the toilets!
Please, spirits, leave!
Now, I will admit, I'm kind of weird for even noticing this or pointing it out. It just shows that I watch way too much SpongeBob. But normally, when we see the Krusty Krab washroom, all right, the toilet is covered in a stall. Like it's in a stall. The toilet isn't just sitting in the washroom. There are stalls and the toilets are in the stalls. Well, for some reason in this episode, the toilet in the Krusty Krab restroom is just in plain sight and is not hidden by a stall, which is just very random and technically a mistake. Like there should be continuity of the washroom. Is it a big deal? No, but it's still a mistake. And here's another one from this episode. This next one isn't as bad, it's more funny, like it really cracked me up, but near the ending of the episode, when the crowd is cheering at SpongeBob and Patrick, who are naked, we can see Sandy, and if you look, she whistles, but she's wearing her helmet, so this would be impossible. You wouldn't be able to whistle through the helmet because her mouth is behind the glass of the helmet, so I don't think I need to explain this one anymore. Massive mistake. Like I said though, it's more funny than anything. This next set of mistakes though aren't so funny, they're just bad.
Wear pants and star babysitters at your service.
We sit on babies!
Not literally.
Yeah, not in Italy.
Let's head over to season 12. I feel like we don't talk about season 12 enough on this channel, and to be honest, the season is full of like really good episodes. Fun fact, or well I guess sad fact, it's actually the last season that Steven Hillenburg, the creator, worked on, but anyways, let's get into the mistakes, baby. Here's the first one. I said here's the first one, but there's only one mistake in this episode. So, as you guys seen, SpongeBob and Patrick were assigned to babysit. And we can see it in this shot. There's 8 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I guess the animators forgot about there being 8 of them, as later on in the episode, during this montage of SpongeBob and Patrick babysitting, 2 babies are missing, dude. If anything, SpongeBob and Patrick should be arrested. There was 8, as you can see here, and now there's only 6, so where are the other 2? SpongeBob and Patrick need to be keeping a better eye on the babies, dude. Like that's kind of scary. I hope they're okay. Maybe it was just a mistake though, guys. Maybe they just forgot to draw the other 2 babies. So yeah, let's keep it moving to another episode. Lots of crazy mistakes coming up, so stay tuned.
Today you do the opposite.
Let me try.
Patrick, breathe.
Next up, we have a personal favorite of mine, and that's Opposite Day. This episode rocks, dude. Here's the first mistake.
He does the opposite.
So first things first, take a look at this. This is Squidward's iconic house, all right? We've seen it thousands of times before, even back in season 1. Now, more importantly, I want you guys to focus on the ear of his house. I know that sounds kind of weird, as it looks like this, all right? And as you can see, there is no window on this ear. Well, in Opposite Day, during this one scene right here, take a look at this. As for one scene, there's randomly this like magical, random, mysterious window on Squidward's house that just doesn't really exist in any other episode. It's kind of funny, like this is how Squidward's house normally looks, and then this is how it looks in this scene, and just, yeah, that window doesn't exist.
Easy. Now you try. First get a jar. Patrick, that's a pickle.
Yes.
Up next, we've got Big Pink Loser, an episode that the plot is actually kinda sad. Pretty much, Patrick thinks he's won an award, but it's actually SpongeBob's award, and this really triggers our favorite starfish over here to the point where he starts to act like SpongeBob so he can win an award as well. Oh, Patrick, you're so dumb. I love you though. What I don't love though, guys, are the mistakes in this episode. Here's the first one. I'm gonna play the clip with the mistake, but let's see if you guys can spot it before I actually reveal it and break it down, try to comment it. But yeah, roll that footage.
Well, I guess it's safe to go in now.
Patrick, how long are you gonna keep this up?
Until I have...
Did you guys catch it? If not, don't worry, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. This one's pretty blatant though, but for a split second while Patrick is running with SpongeBob in the clips we just played, look, again, it's only for a split second, but the left side of SpongeBob's shirt turns yellow, just like randomly, like what? Yeah, that's not how SpongeBob's shirt is supposed to look, and this is a really interesting mistake here. It's only for a split second, so not that big of a deal, but boy oh boy, is it still actually kind of a big deal. You know what's even worse than this though? The mistakes in the next episode we're going to be covering, so let's head over there, guys, and stay tuned as I'm saving the worst mistakes for the ending of the video.
Cooking Krabby Patties is my job.
I am here to replace you and all of your kind.
I saw that movie last night too.
Coming in hot is the episode Planet of the Jellyfish, which in my opinion is an episode that isn't talked about a lot when it comes to SpongeBob. The episode's pretty good. Of course though, it has some mistakes. It has 2 to be exact. Here's the first one.
Whoa, look at all the customers.
One Krabby Patty, hold the mayo.
So take a look at this dude over here, Incidental 27. As you can see, he has a tail fin. It's right here, all right? You can see it right here. Well, the mistake is that when SpongeBob first enters the Krusty Krab during this scene, Incidental 27 is missing that tail fin. It was there in this shot, and later on in the episode, when he's seen growling at SpongeBob, he has his tail again, well, his fin tail again. Yeah, definitely a mistake here. For this one shot, it's just missing, and that's not supposed to happen. This next mistake also wasn't supposed to happen. Keep those eyes peeled, and let's see if you guys can spot it.
You two stay out of trouble. Bye.
Did you guys catch it? Well, take a look at our favorite little snail over here, Gary. More specifically, his shell and the colors on his shell. As you can see, the shell is pink, and then there's like these purple or bluish dots on it, and then there's like this red swirl on it, right? All right, you can see it right here. Well, whoever animated this episode needs to be educated on our favorite little snail, as just before Gary is engulfed by a gelin, take a look at this dude's shell, as that's not right. The colors have been inverted. I'm gonna do a side-by-side. This is how it's supposed to look on the left. Yeah, on the right, that is a mistake. It's not supposed to look like that. Gary, you poor snail. But let's head over to another episode, guys, with more mistakes. Let's go. Next up, we have the episode Ghost Host, an episode all about SpongeBob and the Flying Dutchman having to stay together after the Flying Dutchman is like too broke to get himself a new place. He crashes his boat, so he has to stay with SpongeBob, and he just stays way too long. But anyways, this episode has 2 mistakes in total. Here's the first one. Let's see if you guys can spot this one.
Watch now.
What in barnacles is it?
A journey into self-awareness.
So I want to give credit where credit's due. This mistake was actually pointed out to me by one of you guys, so shout out to you. But during this scene where SpongeBob is going to start the journey into self-awareness video, his red tie, which is supposed to be red, is the same color as his skin. His tie is yellow, so I guess the animators accidentally colored his tie in as yellow instead of red, making for a really bad mistake, guys. Like, what? And there's more. There's another mistake in this episode. Roll the footage.
Ooh, scary. No! Then give it a good scare.
Damn, 2 mistakes in 1 episode. Jeez, Nickelodeon. But when the Flying Dutchman raids Squidward's house, the Flying Dutchman has 5 fingers, as you can see here. Remember this, I'm zooming in, this man has 5 fingers. But later, when he's at SpongeBob's house, he now only has 4. What happened? In this shot, he has 5 fingers, but then in this shot, he has 4. Well, this is a cartoon. I mean, cartoon characters only having 4 fingers is kind of a common thing, but it doesn't change halfway through the episode. This was a mistake, and let's keep it moving, guys. Let's head over to the next episode.
I must remain vigilant. Nothing funny over there. Nothing funny over here.
Hey, SpongeBob, how's it going? Why did you sit
I've got a classic episode for you guys. Let's do funny pants, all right? Here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Hey, Patrick, you want to hear a joke?
Sure, Sandy.
Sure.
What has 4 wheels and flies? A garbage.
Did you catch it? That first mistake takes place during this scene, during SpongeBob's daydream. When Sandy tells SpongeBob if he wants to hear a joke, as you can see, her tail is there. She's got her tail, her fluffy little squirrel tail. But when SpongeBob says, sure, I'd love a good laugh, and it cuts right back to them, where is Sandy's tail? Where'd her tail go? Squirrels don't just randomly lose their tail, guys. I think the animators forgot to draw her tail during this scene. And guys, this happens a lot throughout this episode. For example, this scene right here. Roll the footage.
But scientifically speaking, it's caused by your epiglottis constricting your larynx, causing irregular air intake and respiratory upset.
Sounds painful.
Yeah, like I said, it happens a lot. During this scene where Sandy pulls down this chart of the body, where's her tail again? It's gone. I mean, it's only gone for a split second, but it's still gone. That girl's missing her tail. That's not the only thing she's missing in this episode, guys. As take a look at this scene at the ending of the episode, it's not her tail that's missing this time, it's something else. Can you guys catch it? Leave a comment before I actually show you the mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch it on your own. But yeah, roll the footage.
Look, he's waking up.
Where am I?
You're in the hospital, silly. You broke your laugh box.
Again, it happens near the ending of the episode. But when SpongeBob wakes up from his coma, Sandy's zipper and badge are just missing from her suit. They're just gone. Here's a shot of how it normally looks. As you can see, she has all the designs on her drippy suit, but in this one shot, they're just not there. Again, the animators just didn't draw them. So yeah, they're really doing Sandy dirty in this episode, guys. She's missing her tail twice, and they even messed up on her iconic suit. I feel bad for Sandy.
Oh, pardon me.
Hey, watch where you're going. Newspaper monster!
Lobster!
Next up is the episode Good Neighbors, which is a pretty underrated episode in my opinion, but let's get into the juicy details. I know you guys want the mistakes. Here's mistake number 1.
Now, out! That'll keep them busy.
See you later, Squidward!
So this is another funny one, as when Squidward pushes SpongeBob and Patrick outside to go paint the leaves on the trees, as you can see, the door opens into the house, right? So if you were to open the door goes inside the house. I'm showing you it in slow motion, pay attention. But here's the issue, when SpongeBob and Patrick reappear and say, see ya later, Squidward, the door now opens to the outside of the house. If you were to open the door, it comes outside. So this is a major mistake here. First, it opens up like this, now it opens up like this, and I'm sorry guys, that's not how doors work. It is a cartoon, but that's not how doors work. Here's another mistake though, stay tuned, this one is just as bad.
SpongeBob.
Good morning, Squidward.
Alright, so take a look at this shot of Conch Street. As you can see, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward's house all have these pathways, okay? They all look different, but they have a path getting to their house. Well, when Squidward hears SpongeBob's alarm clock go off in this episode, the ladder's pathway is missing. It's just gone. Poof, where is it? What's funny is it does appear in the episode, but during this one shot, the animators, I guess they just didn't want to draw it. They were feeling kind of lazy because it's not there. That's not it though. Believe it or not, this episode actually has 3 mistakes. Here's the third one.
You did overlook one teensy little detail, however.
What's that, Squidward?
It's Sunday!
It's very easy to miss, but pay attention as before Squidward yells, "It's Sunday," SpongeBob's pupils become uncolored for a split second. They just have no color, and they're not supposed to look like that, dude. Next up is an episode all about SpongeBob not being able to sleep, and this drives our favorite sponge crazy. Insomnia is awful, guys. Take a look at these clips.
Signal! Huh?
Why, SpongeBob?
Poor SpongeBob, but you know who I really feel bad for, guys? The animators and writers on this episode, because they about to get roasted. Here, take a look at the first mistake.
You think mustard grows from seeds? Oh, at this rate I'll be broken 411 years!
Really?
It's funny because Mr. Krabs here is all about money, 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 but he cannot count for the life of him because as you've seen, at one point Mr. Krabs calculates and comes up with the number 411. But the issue is he's adding numbers that made a much higher number. The real answer is 511, not 411. So Mr. Krabs, dude, you need to work on your counting, buddy. Like, you're all about money and all about this grind, but you can't even count, boy. But hey, he's not the only one. The animators also can't animate very well in this episode because there's also a mistake. I'm kidding, guys, just saying the animation's amazing in this episode, but there is an animation mistake. Roll the footage. This one happens really fast, guys. I almost missed it, okay? But the scene where SpongeBob crashes on the bed, this one right here, right? When it happens for about a split second, a large piece of it is just missing. It disappears. It comes back after, but like, dude, it's gone. It's kind of funny.
Mr. Krabs, do we have any zombie teeth, dragon's breath, eye of newt?
Well, there should be some in the back of the freezer.
Up next, we've got Necro-Nom-Nom-I-Con. Don't ask me why, but very strange episode title. It has 2 mistakes. Here's the first one. And here's a little hint. This right here is the sandwich. You want to pay attention to her nose.
Look, ma'am.
I forgot my spectacles. Hey, buddy, you sure this is the magic book I ordered?
Did you guys catch that? As she spins the book, the sandwich's nose gets cut off when she asks the clerk if the cooking book was hers. This is not supposed to happen. We should be able to see her full nose. Like I'm showing you guys, I'm zooming in here. But for that one moment, it just gets cut off and looks really, really weird. Not as weird as this next mistake though from the same episode. Roll the footage.
I got the cookbook, Mr. Krabs.
Hurry up, boyo. Breakfast don't last all day, you know.
Alright, so real quick, let's take a look at our favorite spongy boy over here, SpongeBob, and take a look at his design, alright? More specifically, his holes. You'll notice that he has holes here, here, and here. This part's where it's really important on his side. As in this episode, when SpongeBob salutes to Mr. Krabs, look, he's missing this hole right here. Am I nitpicking? Totally, it's not that big of a deal, but he's missing a hole. It should be right there. Anyways, though, let's head over to another episode that actually has a bad mistake, alright? Let's keep it rolling.
There we go. That takes care of that.
Next up, we've got For Here or To Go from Season 6. In this episode, you know, it's kind of mixed. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I personally do like it. I will admit, though, it has some gnarly scenes. Like, look at this one shot from the ending of the episode where you see the digested contents of a Krabby Patty in Plankton's stomach. But anyways, we're here for mistakes, not gross SpongeBob scenes. That's actually a good idea for a video, though. Comment down below, should I do a video on, like, the grossest scenes in SpongeBob? But anyways, here's the mistakes from this episode. Roll the footage.
Clean the grill first.
I cleaned it this morning.
Doesn't your spatula need a line in or something?
Nope, she's perfectly aligned.
Alright, so if you already caught the mistake, comment it before I reveal it, alright? Rewind and rewatch it again. Let's see if you guys can catch the mistake before I reveal it. Alright, you guys did it? Okay, now let me explain the mistake. It's pretty straightforward, alright? But if you look closely, just before SpongeBob pulls out his spatula, Mr. Krabs' pupils just disappear. This is totally an animation error, and I've seen some people try and say that he was blinking, but guys, when you blink, your pupils don't just disappear like that. Especially how it looks in this shot right here. You can see that the animators during these couple of frames just forgot to draw Mr. Krabs' pupils, and it actually looks pretty creepy, dude. Yeah, very creepy actually. So let's head over to another mistake from this episode.
Karen, quick! You gotta cut this Krabby Patty out of me stats!
But what about anesthetic?
There's no...
So this one, you need a really good eye to catch it, alright? But so this right here is Karen, alright? Plankton's computer wife. And because Karen is a computer, there are multiple different versions of her. There's only one Karen, but she can be in this like robot version. But there's also this wall version that we often see inside the Chum bucket, where Karen's like on a monitor on the wall. Ultimately though, there is only one Karen. So why in this one shot can we see both the mobile robot version and the wall version of Karen at the exact exact same time. I'll tell you why. It's because they made a mistake. I guess the animators accidentally drew both versions at the same time because it looks really weird. On the bright side for Plankton, I guess he has 2 versions of Karen now, which could be kinda convenient. Anyways though, before I get myself in trouble, let's head over to another episode. This next one's a banger, but more importantly, the mistakes in it are going to blow your brain. All right, let's keep it moving.
Better try the reflection test.
One of my favorite seasons of SpongeBob is season 2. Like, don't get me wrong, season 1 and 3 are also really good, and even modern SpongeBob has some good episodes. Season 13 was pretty good, and season 14 has been alright so far. But anyways, season 2, the episode we're gonna be covering is Something Smells. And yeah, this episode has a couple of mistakes. Here's the first one. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Looks like we're out of ice cream. Guess I'll have to use something else. Ketchup!
Did you guys catch it? Because this one even took me a couple of times to actually understand the mistake here. It has to do with SpongeBob's hand. As when SpongeBob opens up this giant ketchup bottle, like that is a massive bottle of ketchup, and squeezes it into his sundae bowl, a ketchup sundae, disgusting. Look, his right hand is backwards. And to really show you guys, I want you to take your arm, all right, your right arm, and position it like SpongeBob's arm in this shot, and you'll see that his hand was drawn backwards. Again, it's very easy to miss, but yeah, this is totally a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode.
What are you doing? Patrick! You're not ugly. Your breath stinks.
So this next one happens really fast. It's only for about a frame or so. But when SpongeBob starts screaming Patrick in the clips you guys just saw, a majority of his holes just disappear. Like, look at this spongy dude over here. It's so weird seeing him without all of his holes. Also, just saying, it kind of makes it a little funny, but if you look at SpongeBob's reflection in the same shot, the reflection has the holes. Like his reflection in the water, so why doesn't he have his holes? It's so weird. Another thing too that's technically a mistake is if you look, Patrick's reflection does not move. Like, Patrick himself will move, but the reflection does not match it. So yeah, messy scene right here. It's nothing compared to the next episode we're gonna cover though, which has 3 whopping mistakes. Let's keep it rolling.
Oh, can I borrow $10?
I'll miss you around the house.
Oh, Daddy, you'll see me after work.
I was talking to the money.
So this next episode is actually one of my favorites in terms of modern day SpongeBob, especially in terms of season 9. The episode is Mall Girl Pearl, and it's a cool episode because it isn't about SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, or Mr. Krabs. It's all about Pearl. Anyways though, we're here for mistakes, all right? We're not here for a deep dive into Pearl, so here's the first mistake from this episode.
No, you don't work at the mall, do you, Derek?
No. So this one is a bit of a nitpick, but it's still technically a mistake, and listen closely because it's kind of technical. But when Pearl first reads her Coral Cuties magazine, we can see that the magazine's name on the back is shown in yellow text. Remember this, all right? It's yellow text. However though, after Pearl puts it down and the scene progresses, look, that yellow text, which was yellow, is now red. It just randomly changes. Here's a side-by-side to show you guys, and yeah, the animators made a little bit of a goof here. Also, as you guys can see in this shot, when Pearl's reading the magazine, this guy right here, Derek, is on the back of the magazine. We can see her looking at it. However though, when she puts the magazine down, look, Derek has just completely disappeared from the back of the magazine. He does reappear when she picks it up, but yeah, very messy. And here's another mistake from Mall Girl Pearl.
It's what?
No, I have no idea, Pearly.
This next mistake is a major issue, and it's because it goes against SpongeBob lore. I know I sound crazy when I say SpongeBob lore, but there is a canon to this stuff. Now, for context, back in the episode Sleepy Time, I love this episode, it's iconic, we see Mr. Krabs' driver's license, and as you can see, it says that his birthday is on November 30th, 1942, and that his address is 3541 Anchor Way. Remember this, alright? Remember this. As in Mall Girl Pearl, we get another look at Mr. Krabs' license, and things have just completely changed now. Like, whoever animated this shot of Mr. Krabs' license needs to go and watch older episodes of SpongeBob because they're wrong, with it claiming that he was born on September 25th, 1960, and that his address is 2219 Anchor Street instead of the other address I mentioned before. Now, don't get me wrong, dude could have moved, like maybe Mr. Krabs moved, but you're not able to change your birth date, all right? Like, you're not able to. It's kind of funny because if Mr. Krabs did this himself, maybe Mr. Krabs forged his ID so that he comes across as younger. This would make sense because if we go back to Midlife Crustacean, like that episode from I think season 2, it's all about Mr. Krabs wanting to be younger. So a bit of a SpongeBob theory here, but also the mistake is that at first his ID or driver's license said this, and now it says this, making for a mistake. And we ain't done yet, baby. Let's keep it moving. Let's head over to our next episode, and this is where things get spicy.
I need a strong man to run this place and can really handle the load, you know? But who has that kind of strength?
I've said this many times before, but I personally, being a massive SpongeBob fan, love episodes where it focuses more on another character than just SpongeBob or Patrick. And the episode Larry the Floor Manager is a good example of this. It's nice to see our boy Larry get some more representation. We've got 2 mistakes for you from this episode. Here's the first one. Roll the footage.
What are y'all doing out here? You should just go home.
We can't go home. There's no Krabby Patties at home. I need my Krabby Patty.
Did you guys catch that? Because it's really bad. It happens for like a couple of frames, so I'm surprised that the animators didn't catch it. But in the scenes we just showed you, if you look closely, our boy Incidental 40, his left eyebrow just randomly turns blue. Normally they're black, but as you can see here, it turns like transparent or something, and it blends in with the sky, which is why it's blue. Definitely a weird mistake, and here's another one from the same episode.
Have you any aged Hauda? And yes, it is pronounced Hauda, not...
Listen closely, guys, because this one's a little complicated. So, when Fred is first seen in the line at the start of the episode in the clips you guys just saw, he's wearing this fresh watch right here on his right fin, all right? Remember this, he's got a watch right here. As eventually, when he and the other customers complain about Bubble Bass taking too long to order, look, that same watch is just gone now. Like, maybe he took it off for a second, but I doubt it. I think this was just a mistake. The animators drew him with a watch, and then they forgot about the watch, and that's why we got this scene with him wearing no watch. Which, hey, at least we can get a laugh out of it, all right? At least it's funny. I'm sure Fred over here doesn't think it's too funny, though. He's probably worrying about where his watch went. But you know what I'm worried about? More mistakes in SpongeBob, so let's head over to our next episode, guys, and this one's going to shock you.
Let's go for a walk, pal.
Gary, I thought what we had was special!
Okay, so this one is kind of minor, but I'm so proud of myself for catching it. Like, I've never seen this mistake before, and I've actually covered this one episode plenty of times. The episode is Dumped, where Gary decides that he wants to hang out with Patrick way more than SpongeBob. It's actually really, really sad. But anyways, roll the footage. Let's see if you guys can catch the mistake, and here's a hint. It has to do with a picture in the background of SpongeBob's house.
Oh, Gary, why did you have to go? Why, Gary? Why?
Did you guys catch it? It has to do with Gary's design. So let's take a look at Gary for a second. And as you guys can see, our beautiful snail right here, he has purple dots on him. These are important. And this like red squiggly line right here. All right. His design is iconic. Now I can understand why they did this because it's just a picture in the background and they didn't want to give it too much detail. But look at this picture of Gary in the back of SpongeBob's house. If we zoom in, we can see that they got his design wrong. They got the red squiggle, but they were just too lazy to draw the purple dots, which is kind of shocking because like they're just dots. I'm kind of nitpicking, but still technically a mistake, guys. Come on.
Whoa, that's too hot!
Next up, we have a very rough episode. It's The Incredible Shrinking Sponge, which, you know, the plot of the episode is cool. SpongeBob is shrunken down and like has to do a bunch of stuff, but the episode itself is pretty weak. It does, of course, have some mistakes, and the one mistake we're going to be covering is actually pretty whack. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Here's a hint. It has to do with the galley grub menu. All right, roll the footage. Alright, so let's go back to season 1 for a second and take a look at the Galley Grub menu. More specifically, how Patty and Krabby Patty is spelt. It's always spelt as P-A-T-T-Y. But one common mistake that's happened in a few episodes throughout SpongeBob's entire runtime, like the history of the show, is that sometimes Patty and Krabby Patty will be misspelt on the menu. And in this episode, the incredible shrinking sponge, this happens right here. Look, Patty is weirdly spelt as P-A-T-T-I-E, which, yeah, is a massive mistake. Like, that's not how it's spelt at all. Okay, that one was kinda weak. It's still a mistake, so let's head over to another episode that actually has a good mistake in it. This one's really gonna shock you guys.
I'm gonna need to see some proof of pet.
Of course!
That's a rock.
Next up, we have another season 14 episode. The episode is Pet the Rock, and this is also a pretty good episode from season 14. With Patrick over here, our favorite starfish, getting himself a new pet rock, which is pretty cool. Also, didn't this happen before? I swear back in the season 2 or 3 episode where they race their snails, it's like the Great Snail Race, that Patrick has a pet rock, so kind of a reference here. But we're not here for references, we're here for mistakes.
I know what I do!
I will admit I'm kind of nitpicking when it comes to this one, but this picture right here shows Patrick and his family from the Patrick Star Show, but it's actually missing a ton of details. Let's start with Bunny over here, alright? Because the picture of the family from Pet the Rock is missing the patterns normally seen on Bunny's clothing. The same thing with Patrick. I'm doing a side-by-side of each character, and Patrick, it's the same thing. The patterns are missing, but also Grandpat over here is missing one of his teeth. So yeah, a bit of a messy scene, but not that big of a deal. I'm kind of nitpicking. It's meant to be like a zoomed out shot of the picture, so I'm definitely over analyzing it. So let's move on to another episode with some actual crazy mistakes.
Classy new boat.
Hello, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob! You're not driving! I know, isn't it great?
Keeping on the topic of modern SpongeBob, the HD era of SpongeBob, our next episode is Drive Happy. And this one's an interesting one. It's all about SpongeBob being able to drive, but not because he got his license finally, but because he operates this self-driving car. Definitely give the episode a watch when you get a chance, but first, let's watch these mistakes. Let's expose them. Here's the first one.
All right, Coop, come on in.
So I want you to take a look at some of these shots of SpongeBob's house. And what we'll notice is that SpongeBob has a garage in the back of his house, all right? We've seen it in many episodes before. Here are some examples. But remember this, because it seems that the writer of this episode and the animators forgot about it. That or they've just never watched old school SpongeBob before. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Nickelodeon. Because at one point, SpongeBob saws a hole at the front of his house so that his car, Coop, the self-driving car, can enter and seek shelter. But this is a problem because SpongeBob literally already has a garage, so like, why would he do this? Like I said, the writer of this episode needs to go back and watch old school SpongeBob, because they do not know what they're talking about at all. And here's one more mistake from this episode.
Oh, that was the best day of non-driving ever.
Now this one could be a case of cartoon logic, but it's still like kind of a weird choice, to be honest with you, because it does highlight what could be a mistake. As you guys seen in the clips that we just played, when SpongeBob's house eventually gets this driveway right here, look, Squidward's house is missing, when it should be right here. Like, based on the angle of this shot, we should be able to see his house, but I guess the animators were feeling a little lazy and just didn't draw it. Again, this one's kind of cartoon logic, but it's still technically a mistake. Like, his house should be right there. Like, look at this shot of Conch Street right here. That's where his house is, right there. So it should be right here in this shot. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let's just keep the spiciness going and head over to another episode with more mistakes. Tons of mistakes coming up. So I imagine some of you guys have pets, and here's a funny question for you guys. What if one day your pet could just start talking? Like, your dog could just start talking to you. Or your cat. I'm kind of more of a dog guy, but your cat could be talking to you too. Well, this is exactly what happens in Chatterbox Gary, with Gary over here becoming quite the chatterbox. Now, of course, we're gonna get right into the mistakes, is what you guys are here for, but here's some hilarious clips from this episode of Gary talking, like some of the funny stuff he says, and then we're gonna get right into the mistakes.
Hello there, Papa Bob.
How do I look in these pants?
They really bring out the sharp corners of your buttocks. Greetings and salutations, grouchy man.
Yeah, I need to get one of these things right here for my dog, because Gary is cracking me up in this episode. Like, we need a whole spin-off series that's just based on Gary. But anyways, on to the mistakes. Here's the first one. Try to comment it before I reveal the mistake. I want to see if you guys can catch it before I tell you. All right, roll the footage.
Stupid rake!
So as you guys just saw in the clips we just played, Squidward climbs up into SpongeBob's house. And when this happens, we can see that there's this rake right here, all right, by SpongeBob's house. This rake's right here. Remember it. As eventually, when Squidward climbs down from SpongeBob's house, the rake has just magically disappeared. And considering the context of this, episode and this scene, while Squidward was sneaking up there, SpongeBob did not come out and put the rake away. The animators drew the rake at first and forgot to draw it the second time, which isn't a big deal because this is a kid's cartoon, so yeah, but still, it's a mistake. Like, get wrecked, Nickelodeon. It's a mistake. And here's another one.
In order to achieve complete brainfulness, one must clear one's mind of all distractions.
Early on in the episode, we get these scenes where Squidward is meditating, all right? And now normally, if we look at Squidward in any other episode, just a random PNG of him, he always has these wrinkles on his forehead. Even back in his first appearance of SpongeBob, he's had the wrinkles. They will disappear when he makes very specific facial expressions, but even that is rare. They very rarely disappear. And when they do, it's usually a mistake. Now, if you guys look while Squidward's meditating, look, his wrinkles on his head are gone. But there could be a reasoning for this. Now, I think it's a mistake, but it could be due to the fact that he's meditating. So he's relaxed, he's calm from meditating, which could result in the forehead wrinkles maybe going away. I don't know. I definitely think it was a mistake though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Ever notice how big squirrels' teeth are? I mean, hey, you could land a plane on those things.
Nice. Squirrel Jokes. I love this episode. I felt bad for Sandy in it because, they're kind of mean to her, but overall, really, really, really good episode. And of course, it has a mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it without my help. All right, guys, before I reveal and explain the mistake, try and comment it to see if you guys spot it first. But all right, roll the footage.
Squirrel! I know, let's try and communicate with it.
Okay, so context. This character right here is Incidental 38B, and you'll notice that their lips are purple, all right? Their lips are always purple too. In any other episode, look at some of these shots, their lips are purple, remember. Well, in the scene you guys just saw, where Sandy's in the grocery store and these three fish just start roasting her, they start going in on our girl. If we watch Incidental 38B closely, their lips actually flicker orange for about a frame, and then they go back to purple, but for that one frame, look at this, what? My theory is if you look, this fish over here is orange and has orangish lips, so maybe they got confused and mixed it up. It's only for a frame, but it's still a mistake. And here's another one that you do not want to miss from Squirrel Jokes. Roll the footage.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I want to give a special thanks to my friend Sandy.
So this right here is my boy Incidental 11, and you'll notice that he has this fin right here, all right? I want you to remember how this fin looks. We even see him in this episode earlier on, and his fin looks the same, right? Well, during the scene you guys saw where the spotlight's put on Sandy after SpongeBob starts roasting her more, look, part of Incidental 11's fin is just missing. It looks incredibly awkward, especially when there are shots with their full fin intact. So weird mistake here. It's not very noticeable unless you're looking for it, but I mean, come on, that is a mistake. And here's another one.
Crabs? Oh, brother, they're so cheap, they can't even pay attention.
It's true! I am cheap!
Forward, and I feel bad for Mr. Krabs over here, but when SpongeBob talks about crabs in his stand-up, Mr. Krabs over here is missing his legs. I can understand how this happened, kind of, but also, considering the angle, they're kind of silly for this one. It's so blatant. I remember catching this as a kid. So yeah, no legs on Mr. Krabs. Hey, it happens sometimes. Let's head over to another episode, guys, and stay tuned, because the mistakes are gonna get worse as we go. It is going to be crazy by the ending of the video. All right, let's head over to the next episode.
Wow, Squidward, you flipped him over. That takes an awful amount of skill.
Season 4 Skill Crane is an interesting episode. The plot, is very interesting, the idea of them getting a skill crane in the Krusty Krab. Now I want to play one of these games are fun. I'll win all of you guys like a SpongeBob plushie, all right? Before that though, let's expose the mistakes in this episode. Here's the first one.
You know this guy?
Yeah, that's Squidward. He's got the magic touch.
Yeah, so this one really cracked me up. I never noticed this as a kid, but now that I've seen it, I cannot unsee it when watching this episode. So this construction worker right here, the short king right here, all right, pay attention to his pants. At first, he's wearing these like grayish, bluish pants right here, as you can see, all right? Remember these? They're kind of fresh. I need a pair. Then the scene changes, but when we go back to it and we see the same short king over here, look, his pants are now like a beige color. I'm doing a side-by-side and they like completely changed his pants. I don't even know how something like this happened. Maybe his pants were originally going to be beige. I don't know. Maybe it's a layering issue because if you look, they're standing on sand, which is a similar color. I don't know, but this is definitely a mistake. And here's another one from Skill Crane.
Need some change? There you are.
Hey, thanks.
No, Mr. Squidward. Thank you.
This one is very easy to miss. So in the footage you guys just saw, when Mr. Krabs is thanking Squidward after giving him change, it happens right before the coins start rolling, but the leftmost end of Mr. Krabs' belt turns gray for a frame. Obviously, it's supposed to be black, as we've seen in every other appearance of Mr. Krabs, even in this episode. But for a moment, it is gray for a single frame, and that, my friends, is totally a mistake. Don't worry though, guys. We've got more. We're gonna head over to another episode, and you guys are gonna really like this one because it's from an iconic episode that I love. All right, let's do it. Let's head over to our next episode.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
I told you guys this episode is iconic, the secret box. This episode is all about Patrick having like this box and he won't show SpongeBob what's inside of his box, and this drives SpongeBob crazy. You know what really drives me crazy though? The mistake in this episode. Roll the footage, please.
This very box is the most secret-y secret. Not even Squidward's house.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this PNG of SpongeBob right here, and we'll all notice that he has freckles on his face. He has 3 freckles on each cheek. This is a major part of our boy's design. But there's a massive animation glitch in this episode, as before Patrick mentions Squidward's house, look at SpongeBob's cheek as he has double the amount of freckles. Like, it looks really weird. There's like 6 of them. This has never happened before and has never happened since this episode, so totally a mistake here. Like, look at how weird that looks. Anyways, let's go to the next episode.
I like it here. It's roomy. And best of all, we have this cave all to ourselves.
Up next, we have To Save a Squirrel, and this is actually a pretty good episode. I like this one. SpongeBob and Patrick go off to find Sandy, and the mistakes in this episode are very interesting, especially this first one. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Carrots! You're making soup out of me!
It was not! It was supposed to be stew!
Did you guys catch it? If not, I do not blame you because this one is going to need some explaining. There is some explaining to do here for sure. It has to do with this puddle right here, as it seems that Patrick goes under the puddle when he's running, during his running animation. And I don't mean like he steps in the puddle like he's stepping in water. I mean like the art for the puddle is literally overlapping his leg like it's on top of his leg, as you can see here. This is 100% a layering issue, where you can see that the puddle's layer should be under Patrick's layer, I guess his body layer, but they messed up and swapped them, which is why this puddle is like on top of Patrick. So weird, man. It's so weird. Not as weird as this next one though, from To Save a Squirrel. Roll the footage. It has to do with one of SpongeBob's pores.
Owned our tent and lost all our water. Patrick, we are gonna need to use our razor-sharp quick wits if we're gonna make it out of here alive.
Gotcha.
Did you guys catch it? This one's actually fairly easy to catch if you pause at the right frame, which is what we just did for you guys, but I got you. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. When SpongeBob says, Patrick, we are going to need to use our razor-sharp quick wits if we're going to make it out of here alive, one of his holes just becomes transparent for a split second. Like, you can see right through it and see the sky behind it, which is not supposed to happen. SpongeBob's pores are never just entirely see-through. They're just holes into his body. So being able to see the sky through our yellow spongy boy over here is 100% a mistake, and a fairly bad one actually. But all right, let's keep it moving, guys. Let's head over to another episode.
From now on, the Krusty Krab is open 24 hours a day.
Now we never have to stop working.
Back to the classics. Next up, we've got Graveyard Shift, and this one's a cool one where Squidward and SpongeBob are forced to work like overnight, and they get terrified when this new kid is coming to apply. They think he's the hash-slinging slasher, but he's actually just this cute kid right here. All right, enough spoilers. Here's the first mistake.
The hash-slinging slasher!
Get away, SpongeBob! No matter what I've said, I've always sort of...
So let's take a look at SpongeBob's design, all right? We're looking at this PNG of our favorite yellow spongy boy right here, and you'll notice he has this red line right here under his mouth. It's always been there ever since season 1, and it never really disappears. It's supposed to represent like the under part of his jaw, I think, or the bottom part of his mouth. But anyways, in Graveyard Shift, when Squidward and SpongeBob are shaking under the misconception that the hash-slinging slasher is approaching, that red line under SpongeBob's mouth actually flickers between normal and invisible. I'm playing it in slow motion right here. I zoomed in and I sharpened the footage, and yeah, you can see it kind of just goes back and forth between the two, which is very awkward and weird.
I would like a hey!
Oh, what?
I said one crusty combo. Don't you speak karate?
We're heading over to season 7 for this next one, and this episode is not liked by the SpongeBob community very much. It's Karate Star. I personally don't think that the episode is that bad, but a lot of fans just do not like this one, mainly due to the plot, but surprise, surprise, the episode itself also has a bunch of mistakes. Here's the first one, and try to guess what the mistake is before I reveal it. Try to comment what the mistake is before I actually say what it is. I know you guys can do it. Anyways, roll that footage.
Hey, look, it's Patrick!
Hiya, SpongeBob!
What are you doing in there? There, Neptune!
So this one's weird, all right? Let's take a look at the Krusty Krab from the outside, and you'll notice that the Krusty Krab doors have these yellow handles on them, all right? It's been there ever since the first ever episode, and it's just how the doors look, man, all right? It's how they look. But in the clips you guys just saw, when Patrick chops through the Krusty Krab doors with his karate, or his karate, those yellow handles do not appear on the floor, when they really should. Like, this mistake is a bit of a nitpick on my end, and I can understand why the animators were a little too lazy to put the handles in this shot, but it's still technically a mistake. Here's mistake number 2, though.
Also, lipids and cream.
We're all out. In fact, we're out of everything.
All right, mistake number 3. So as you guys saw in the clips, Patrick over here orders a delicious ice cream, all right? I could go for some ice cream right now. Comment down below, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Mine is cookie dough. But anyways, when Patrick orders his large ice cream, the amount of scoops on his ice cream inconsistently change in between shots. For example, when he first gets it, it looks like this, and there's this many scoops. But when the shot changes, look, so do the scoops of ice cream. It even happens again in this shot where the scoops of ice cream have changed again. Super inconsistent. Not a huge deal, but this one is most certainly a mistake, and hey, mistakes happen sometimes. It's a 2D animated show, but I caught ya. And let's catch more heading over to another episode. And guys, stay tuned because the mistakes are only gonna get crazier as we go. I'm saving the craziest mistakes for the end.
I hired him to stand out there and hold that sign.
Oh, he is good.
Can you direct me to the Krusty Krab, please?
You know, we cover a ton of mistakes on this channel, and there are some mistakes that just actually crack me up, and this is one of them. It's from the episode No Hat for Pat, which is kind of an underrated episode, just saying, with Patrick becoming an attraction at the Krusty Krab because he constantly falls and hurts himself. I actually feel kind of bad for Patrick in this episode, but anyways, here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
I'll show you, SpongeBob! I'll get a job! And a hat!
Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward, but the Krusty Krab sign, alright? Normally it looks like this, and as you can see, it says the Krusty Krab. Of course, it's the Krusty Krab sign after all. But in this one shot from No Hat for Pat, look, the sign is misspelled, with the U in Krusty being replaced with a Y. But yeah, that's not how the sign is supposed to look. As a matter of fact, here's a side-by-side of how the sign looks in other episodes, and yeah, you guys can really see the mistake now. So weird, but not as weird as this next episode 7. set of mistakes. Let's keep it rolling, gang. Next up, we've got Squid Noir, and this episode's really cool. I actually think it's a very underrated episode. Now, we're gonna get into the mistake, but a big part of this episode is that Squidward becomes a detective, and when this happens, the whole art style changes. Everything becomes all black and white, and it starts to feel like a noir film. So we're gonna get into the mistakes, but here are some clips showing you guys this because it's a really cool episode. And then we'll expose the mistakes and take a poop on the episode.
When it came to paying the stupid bill, SpongeBob always tipped 20%.
All right, I'll partner up with you this time.
See, really cool stuff. Now we can just, you know, like I said, we can take a poop on the episode and bring up the mistake, roll the footage.
Billy, don't make me turn this boat around.
I'm so sorry.
This one's actually pretty easy to miss, especially because the scene's in black and white. But when one of Bubble Bass's friends try to comfort him after his suburban dad action figure breaks, the veil that one of the friends wears disappears for like a split second. It happens really fast. It then pops right back on, but look, for this one frame, it's gone. I'm actually gonna play the clip in slow motion again. Like, look at this, I'm playing it, and like, yeah, like it just disappears randomly. At least he gets it back though, so yeah.
Okay.
Squidward, have you ever seen more lovely French tips?
French tips, huh? All right, pal.
Listen, so when you get old, like your big brother Corey over here, all right, your big brother cartoon Corey, I'm turning old, I'm getting old. Sundays become like a very important day. It's like your day off because you're working all the time. So I'm not surprised that Squidward gets so annoyed at SpongeBob and Patrick for ruining his Sunday off in the episode Good Neighbors.
It's Sunday! A good neighbor doesn't bother me on Sunday!
Sunday?
This is another one that just makes you laugh like a lot, as when Squidward angrily throws SpongeBob out, he's seen wearing his regular clothes. You can see it right here, his regular OG fit. But in the very next shot, dude is now wearing his pajamas. And this happens in a matter of seconds. Like literally he's seen in his regular clothes and then the scene changes and now he's in his pajamas. Weird continuity error, but let's keep it moving, guys. Let's talk about season 7 for a second, more specifically the episode The Play's the Thing. An episode all about Squidward putting on a play at the Krusty Krab. Now, of course, there's loads of mistakes we're going to be covering in this episode and you don't want to miss them, but here are some clips from Squidward's play as it's actually like really funny, and then we'll get right to the mistake.
Promise and potential.
I'd like a double Krabby meal.
Hero!
Hey, my Krabby Patty doesn't have ketchup.
Okay, it's mistake time. That's what you guys are actually here for. We're gonna cover 2. Here's the first one, and try to comment it without me revealing it yet. Let's see if you guys can spot it without me showing you it right away, all right? Roll the footage.
Delivery for Mr. Squidward Tentacles. Hello?
You guys may have caught it, all right? But in the close-up shot of the mailman's letter, the mailman's sleeve is missing, despite the fact that when we see like the full shot of him, he has the sleeve. So in the close-up of the letter, he should also have his sleeve. That's a continuity error. And here's another one from this episode. Here's a hint. It has to do with SpongeBob's teeth. Roll the footage.
Oh, the trash is full. I had better call the garbage truck.
This is a very common mistake throughout SpongeBob, and I try to avoid it because I feel like it's kinda lame, but in this case, it's actually pretty bad. So, while SpongeBob faces towards the camera and begins acting like a garbage truck, look, for about a split second, his teeth turned yellow. You guys already know what I'm gonna say, but SpongeBob, go brush those teeth, boy.
Mermaid Man, with his young associate Barnacle Boy, fights for all creatures that live in the sea against the forces of evil.
Can you believe that this season 1 episode of SpongeBob has over like 15 mistakes in it? What? Well, in today's video, we're gonna ruin your childhood and expose all of them. Here's the first mistake.
Barnacle Boy, unite!
Creatures of the deep, assemble!
Alright, it's time for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1. Did you guys catch that first mistake? If not, let me explain. First things first though, just saying, it's crazy that this was the first episode where Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy ever appeared. It's history, but anyways, let me explain this mistake. So as you guys may have just noticed, the donut Patrick uses as a stand-in for Barnacle Boy's ring, this one right here, is chocolate, alright? Remember this, it's chocolate. We see this especially when they touch their donuts together. But the problem here is when we see this exact same donut in any other shot, it's orange. We know it's the same donut because of how many donuts were in the box, but yeah, first the donut was chocolate, and then it just randomly changes to an orange donut in every other shot. And just saying, an orange donut sounds disgusting. Like, I don't think I would eat that, an orange flavored donut. What about you guys? But anyways, here's mistake number 2 from Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1.
Hold it right there, ma'am. I'll be taking that.
Ah! Help! Help! Help!
It's working.
This one is really, really weird. So there's a joke in this episode, you guys just saw it in the clip, where Patrick takes SpongeBob's purse and peers out from behind this building right here, looking out from behind it. But if you look closely at one point, the purse is just seen floating beside him when he's supposed to be holding it. It's right here, and yeah, that thing is just floating, which I don't even think I need to explain is totally a mistake. And here's number 3. Remember guys, not every mistake in the beginning is going to be like crazy, but as we go, they're gonna get really bad.
There it is. You know what this means? Donuts. Oh, brother.
So as you guys just saw, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy realize that they need to fight evil again, even though SpongeBob's just a massive fan, and they pull out their iconic rings. Now, if you look at these rings, there's an M and a B on each ring, because one is for Mermaid Man exclusively for him, and the other is exclusively for Barnacle Boy. That's why they have the letters on them. As you can see, the B ring is on the left, and the M ring is on the right. However, if we watch closely when Barnacle Boy puts the ring on Mermaid Man, I'm slowing down the footage, he actually puts the ring with the B on Mermaid Man. We know this because it was on the left side, so major mistake here. The ring on the right should have been the one that went onto Mermaid Man's hand because it has an M on it. All right, makes sense. Let's keep it moving. More mistakes are coming, and they're pretty interesting, so yeah, let's keep it moving.
Say the oath.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, unite!
Throw water ball at him.
I'm gonna make this one quick because it is pretty much cartoon logic, but as you know, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy put those rings on, but the problem is after Mermaid Man says the oath, both his and Barnacle Boy's rings have now just disappeared. We literally see them put them on seconds prior, but just now they're just gone, which is just a really stupid mistake to be honest, but again, it is cartoon logic that they would disappear. Whatever, here's another mistake.
It's the raging whirlpool!
This is another one that's just like really funny. As you guys saw, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy do their signature dog paddling towards the boys. But what's important here is before this scene, all right, if we look at Mermaid Man, he's wearing some socks, all right? Even before they do the dog paddle, he is wearing socks, as you can see right here. But when he starts doing the dog paddle, I don't know if he took his socks off because they're gone. It seems the animators forgot to draw the socks during this animation, as afterwards, after they're done the dog paddle, they just reappear. His socks are back. So first he had socks on, then he's missing his socks, and then they're back. Wild mistake here. I told you they're gonna get crazier as we progress. So yeah, let's keep it moving though, guys. Here's another spicy one.
To the broccoli.
This one happens really fast, so it's somewhat excusable, but it's also just really hilarious. When Mermaid Man says to the broccoli while in line, again, it happens very, very quickly, but his right bra strap turns orange for a split second. Normally they're white, as you can see in this shot right here, but for that one split second, it turns orange and it looks very, very strange. Definitely a little bit of an animation error here, and here's more.
We need help. Sea creatures unite.
Now this one is a tough mistake, guys. How me and my team found it is very impressive because it's very, very easy to miss. But when Mabel, this lady right here, remember her, when she comes outside after Mermaid Man calls her and the other old people residents to assemble, as she's coming out of the place to the outside to Bikini Bottom, the bottom of her cane flashes white for like 2 different frames. Does it matter? Not really, but it's still technically a mistake, and you gotta say, it's kind of impressive that we found this one. Like, come on, dude. I'm playing it again. Yeah, it flashes white for like 2 different frames, and it's definitely not supposed to happen, but we'll let it slide. And now it's time to head over to our last mistake from this episode that's actually hilarious.
Join our heroes locked in a battle of wits.
Alright, it's time for the last mistake. So as you guys just saw, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were playing checkers. Now, whenever we get a zoomed out shot of this checkerboard, it's incorrectly colored, with the red squares being where the black squares are supposed to be, and the black squares being where the red squares are supposed to be. Now, in any of these zoomed in shots, it's correct, right? So we can do a side by side. Here's a zoomed in shot, and here's a zoomed out shot, and you'll notice the zoomed out shots are incorrect. They messed up the board for checkers. Maybe checkers is reversed in Bikini Bottom, but the fact that they drew it correctly when zoomed in shows that those zoomed out shots are 100% a mistake. Rest in peace to the voice actor of Mermaid Man, just saying he's a legend. And yeah, that's it for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Let's head over to Neptune's Spatula. Here's the first mistake. So, as you guys saw, eventually, SpongeBob and King Neptune have like a fry cook off because King Neptune just does not believe that SpongeBob is a good fry cook. He's very rude to our favorite little sponge in this episode, just saying. Now, at this cook-off or this challenge, there is a massive audience. And if we look throughout the audience, right, several fish members in the audience change colors between shots. For example, we have this character right here. At first, he looks like this, but as the scene progresses, he'll randomly change and look like this. The same fish, but a completely different color. Here's another example. Take a look at this background incidental character right here. At first, he's this color, or I guess they are this color, and then they change to this color after a couple shots. Super weird. These types of mistakes are fairly common because they're like background characters, but still, I caught ya, I'm exposing them, and here's another mistake.
What did I tell you about using your powers, trainee?
Perfect patties are made with love, not magic.
This is another weird one where we have some color changes going on. It's not as bad as the last one, but when SpongeBob is speaking to Neptune in the kitchen at the end, look, the walls are light blue instead of the teal that the walls are in all of the long shots of the kitchen. Normally, the walls look like this. They have this teal color only in the long shots, but then when SpongeBob's talking to Neptune in the exact same location, they're now like a light blue or something. Kind of a nitpick, but you know, the color of a wall doesn't just change randomly in a matter of seconds, you know. Mr. Krabs maybe did a new paint job, but I doubt it. This was definitely a mistake. And here's another one. I don't know how I caught this one, but this character right here is Incidental 7. I'm showing a PNG of her on screen right now. Well, as you can see here, Incidental 7 is chilling in the crowd, and she is wearing a shirt with a collar. Remember the collar, all right? As eventually, when Incidental 7 catches one of Neptune's patties, look, that collar that was just on their shirt just disappears randomly. Literally, here's a side-by-side. And look at this. After she takes a bite of the patty, her collar just randomly reappears again. So very messy moment here.
Your shell is mine!
Coming in next is the episode Tea at the Tree Dome. Here's the first mistake.
4 stingers.
Did you guys catch that first one? It's pretty easy to catch, to be honest. Also, I'm gonna be completely real. We've covered it before in other videos, but I want this video to have every single mistake from Tea at the Tree Dome, so we're covering it again. But when SpongeBob puts his binoculars away when he's spying on Sandy at the very beginning of the episode, as you guys just saw, look, our boy needs to go to the dentist as his teeth turns yellow for 1 frame. This is a fairly common mistake throughout SpongeBob, especially in season 1, but when we really freeze a frame like this, it looks so bad. And here's another one.
Land squirrel. That little squirrel is in trouble.
Take that, you soil clam!
We've covered this one a couple of times before, so I'm gonna make it really quick. But, as you guys just saw, when SpongeBob says that little squirrel is in trouble, yeah, the left part of his belt is missing. Normally, SpongeBob looks like this. Here's a PNG of him, and as you can see, his belt goes all across his pants. But yeah, it happens sometimes. Part of his belt is missing in this 1 frame. So weird. Not as weird as this next mistake, though.
Heck no, I need it to breathe. I gotta have my air.
Me too. I love air. Air is good.
No kidding?
Why, there's my middle name.
Okay, so for this one to really make sense, let's take a look at our girl Sandy over here, all right? Sandy Cheeks. And one thing you'll notice is that her neck, all right, is always brown. It's the same color as like her on her body. Now, this is a very common mistake throughout SpongeBob. It's happened a couple of times. But when Sandy says, no kidding, look, the animators incorrectly colored her neck as white for like a couple of frames, when of course it's supposed to be brown. Here's a side-by-side. Yeah, totally a mistake here. Her neck is not white. It's supposed to be brown. And here's another one from Tea at the Triton. This one's interesting.
If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky up like this. Remember, when in doubt, pinky out.
So a big thing in this episode, as you guys just saw, is Patrick teaching SpongeBob how to be fancy. And a big thing is pinkies up, all right? This is a big thing. I don't know how, putting your pinky up while drinking tea is fancy, but hey, Patrick, it's his idea. Now from here, we see SpongeBob throw up his pinky plenty of times. But in the next scene where SpongeBob and Patrick are approaching Sandy's tree dome, if we look, SpongeBob has his left hand up, and if we really zoom in, that isn't his pinky, that's his index finger, which is totally a mistake as it completely goes against the joke here of lifting up your pinky. So really funny mistake. You can see right there that is not his pinky. I know it's kind of blurred because this is an old episode and I'm zooming in, but that's an index finger and totally a mistake. And here's another one.
How's that?
Higher.
Like that?
Now that's fancy. They should call you SpongeBob Fancy Pants!
Yeah, this one's just like the last. It has to do with SpongeBob and him holding up his pinky, which, as I've mentioned, is a big gag in this episode. So, when Patrick tells SpongeBob how to be fancy, he lifts his right hand pinky finger up right here, as you can see. Right hand pinky finger. Now, from the front view, this view right here, the pinky is shown on the left side. Remember this. And from the back view, it's shown on the left side instead of the right. And it looks like SpongeBob is holding up one of his middle fingers instead of his pinky, which is kind of a mistake. With this one, you can tell they just kind of messed up with the angles of this scene. Some of you guys might not really get what's going on here, but yeah, totally a mistake. Let's move over to one that's a lot more clear. This next mistake is blatant.
Remember, when in doubt, pinky out. You can do it, SpongeBob. I'll be watching.
This one definitely needs some explaining. So, whenever Sandy lets SpongeBob or Patrick into her house, she has to drain the water in the entrance. For it to get drained, she uses this red light thing right here. Whenever this goes off, that's when the water gets drained, all right? And it's there when it's getting drained so that SpongeBob and Patrick can come in. It's right there. Remember, I know I'm rambling, but remember, it's right there. As before this, when we see SpongeBob and Patrick walking up towards the tree dome, look, that red light thingy where the water gets drained is not there. It's literally missing in this shot, and then once they get closer, it magically appears. Very funny. I mean, this one makes sense. It was a zoomed out shot. That's why they didn't draw it on her door, but that's a mistake. And here's another one.
If y'all needed water, you should have asked.
This one just cracks me up. At the ending of the episode, Sandy says, if you wanted water, why didn't you just say so? But dude, girl, what you talking about? SpongeBob literally asked for water earlier on in the episode. Remember? Here's the clip.
Can I get you anything?
Water would be nice.
I'm gonna put these in a vase.
Take your time.
Yeah, so he did ask Sandy, you just didn't give him water and he almost died, so yeah. We ain't done yet though, believe it or not. Here's another. And last but not least, for Tea at the Tree Dome, this one is hilarious. So as you guys just saw, SpongeBob is seen rehydrated, all right? He's all refreshed now. He isn't dying anymore. But if we look closely, there isn't any water in his air helmet yet. He just starts looking like this as Patrick is getting filled up before SpongeBob himself actually gets filled up. So yeah, this is the worst mistake of the episode, to be honest with you guys. Next up, we have a very special episode of SpongeBob. I mean, it's literally the first episode ever Help Wanted.
Here we see Bikini Bottom, teeming with life, home of one of my favorite creatures, SpongeBob SquarePants.
This one's a big deal, and I don't think I need to tell you guys why. I mean, it's the debut of our favorite annoying little sponge over here, SpongeBob, and all of our other favorite Bikini Bottom characters. But I hate to do it, guys. I gotta do what I gotta do. We're gonna be diving into mistakes, and this episode has 10 plus, so here's the first one. Now a heads up, because I'm covering every mistake in this episode, not every mistake is going to be like groundbreaking, alright? And this first one's a good example of that, as Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, his name in the written by section of the opening credits is actually misspelled, with it missing the N in his surname. And guys, the mistakes coming up are a lot worse. Here's the second mistake from this episode.
Home of one of my favorite creatures, SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, of course he lives in a pineapple, you silly.
Yeah, this one's quick, but this is how SpongeBob's house normally looks. Now, keep in mind, this is the first ever episode, so I mean, the house isn't really decided on yet, but this is how SpongeBob's pineapple home normally looks. And as you can see, it has a window here, and there's also one here at the back. I don't know if I can show it in this one image. But in Help Wanted, in the very beginning of the episode, look, SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home is missing this window right here. There should be a window right there, and it isn't there. This is the first episode though, so I'll give the show a break, and here's another mistake.
There it is. The finest eating establishment ever established for eating. The Krusty Krab.
This one's a weird one, and I feel kind of lame nitpicking, but the goal is to cover like every mistake in this episode, right? So, when SpongeBob is looking at the Krusty Krab in the scene you guys just saw, at first, as you can see right here, I'm using an arrow to point it out, he is on sand. Remember this, alright? He's on sand. But then, literally like a couple seconds later, in the next shot, he's suddenly now on the road. So yeah, kind of weird. Here's a side-by-side. First he's on the sand, then he's on the road. Weird mistake, and here's the next one.
Who's ready?
I'm ready!
Who's ready?
I'm ready!
Who's ready?
I'm ready!
This next one is another nitpick that I personally don't think is a big deal. I mean, the show is 2D animated. 2D animation is hard, as I always say. But take a look at this random shot of Patrick, all right? This is a shot of him from another episode, and as you can see, his eyelids, all right, they are purple. Remember this, all right? Whenever he closes his eyes, you can see that his eyelids are purple. Well, in this one episode, when Patrick says, "Who's ready?" his eyelids are randomly pink instead of the usual purple, which, like I said, is a nitpick. But here's the thing. If we look at other shots of Patrick in this same episode, look, they're purple. So for this one shot, this one where he says, "Who's ready?" why are they pink? Totally a mistake. It happens sometimes. Hey, and let's keep it moving.
Who's ready?
Okay, so this one's actually pretty bad. The last two were, you know, they were all right mistakes. So, as you guys just seen, we have that shot where SpongeBob is going, "I'm ready," his catchphrase. And the last time he says it, look, as his collar actually turns red randomly, and it's not supposed to be that color. That's, yeah, that's a mistake. And like I said, this one's actually pretty bad. There's lots more coming up though, guys. Here's the next one.
Hey, please! Stay seated and don't put their hands out the window!
This one's interesting. So when all of the anchovies arrive, we can see 4 buses pulling up to the Krusty Krab, all right? And there's quite the introduction to these buses showing up, and if we see them showing up, there is only 4. Remember this. As a few shots later, and there is now 5 buses parked. I mean, I guess the 5th one could have shown up late. That's totally a possibility, but kind of a weird choice for a cartoon. So yeah, kind of a mistake. I don't know for sure. What do you guys think? Do you think this one's a mistake, or this 5th truck just randomly showed up late, or I guess 5th bus? Anyways though, here's the next mistake.
Smelly smell, it smells smelly. Anchovies.
Why?
Okay, you need the eyes of a hawk to catch this one. But when Mr. Krabs yells anchovies, the top of Squidward's mouth is like separated with a line. We really have to zoom in here. It happens specifically when Mr. Krabs says anchovies, and yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. Squidward, I'd go to a doctor, man. That's totally a mistake. And here's more.
Please, please, quiet! Is this any way to behave?
This one really made me laugh. So, when Squidward yells quiet in the clip you guys just saw and asks if this is any way to behave, this window right here, the Krusty Krab's side window and metal back wall, are both just missing. Like, where are they? Here's another shot of the Krusty Krab in the same episode, and like, it was there, but then in this one part, it's just missing. Like, they're just gone. There's no window, and there's no metal back wall. So, weird mistake. Things are only gonna get weirder from here, though, guys. Be prepared.
Form a neat single file line in front of the register.
Alright, so take a look at the inside of the Krusty Krab. This is from a more modern episode of SpongeBob, just so you guys can get a widescreen look. And something you'll notice is that there's always this order here sign right here in Squidward's like cashier station. It's right above the ordering boat that Squidward is always standing in. Well, in Help Wanted, when the anchovies are absolutely tweaking and freaking out and are picking up the ordering boat, look, that order here sign that's supposed to be right here is nowhere to be seen. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, as a lot of these mistakes are. They're not that big of a deal, but it's really funny to catch. And now whenever I rewatch this episode, I'm always gonna see this mistake. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Here's another one. I'm very, very proud of myself for catching this one, but for it to make sense, I need to give you guys some context and explain, so listen closely. This right here is the outside of the Krusty Krab, and as you can see, on the restaurant itself, on the outside, there are these like decorative flags. And there's this flag right here with two of these like white squares on it, okay? It's this one right here. There's white and red checkers on it, to be very specific. Well, in the overhead shot, closer to like the middle of the episode where the restaurant is jumping left to right, you guys just saw the clip, the white spots on that flag actually turn purple randomly. I'm zooming in and pausing again here, and you can see they're purple. Here's a side-by-side. Normally it's white, but then that white part of that flag is purple when the restaurants go in left and right. Very weird. It's probably some sort of layering issue, because every white part of the flag turns purple. But yeah, totally a mistake, and guys, we're reaching the end, but here's more. This one is probably one of the weirdest mistakes I've ever covered because of how random it is, and it's very weird, okay? But when Mr. Krabs and Squidward hit this pole in the clip you guys just saw, this random frame of what looks like to be the alternate or inverted background for the credit just randomly appears. It goes back to normal, but you'll notice like right when they hit it, the frame just changes to this for a second. You still see the anchovies, and then it goes back to normal. It's so weird. I'm actually gonna play it again in slow motion. Yeah, take a look at this real quick. So weird, and now that you guys saw it in slow motion, you see what I really mean. It's so random, but whatever, guys. We've still got more mistakes to cover, and they're wild. Roll the clip.
Climb, Mr. Squidward, climb!
I wasn't lying about the next mistake being a wild one, as when Mr. Krabs says, "Climb, Mr. Squidward, climb," Squidward's upper teeth are purple. I don't even think I need to show you guys. Normally, Squidward's teeth are not purple, but in this one shot, they're purple, and just what? What is going on in this episode? It's the first one, so I'll give them a break, but guys, there's more. Here's the next one. Okay, so remember that pole I was talking about before, all right? Now, in previous scenes, that pole has like a blue covering on it, all right? This blue part right here. Remember this, as when SpongeBob later on in the episode comes to save the day and says, "Did someone order a spatula?" That same pole that Mr. Krabs and Squidward are on that had the blue on it before now has like a red covering on it, all right? Which is totally a continuity error. First it was blue, and now it's red. And I doubt that Mr. Krabs did some like interior redesigning while they were getting like attacked and like approached by anchovies. So yeah, here's another mistake though.
But Mr. Krabs.
Three cheers for SpongeBob! Hip hip.
All right, Mr. Krabs. All right. All right, Mr. Krabs.
So here's a question. Have you guys ever wanted to see a shirtless Mr. Krabs? Well, I haven't, and don't worry, I'm not gonna really show you, but this mistake gives us a taste of it, as every time Mr. Krabs jumps, when he says hip hip, if we look at his shirt, right, his white undershirt that he normally wears, as a matter of fact, here's a quick PNG of Mr. Krabs. As you can see, he has this white undershirt on underneath. Yeah, when he says hip hip, his white undershirt just disappears for a split second. So like I told you, shirtless Mr. Krabs, I got you. No, I'm kidding, I'm joking. All right, let's keep it moving. Another mistake.
Fella, when do I start?
This one's weird and I don't really have an explanation for it. There might be some joke I'm missing, but when SpongeBob says, so, when do I start after being hired, the screen just randomly shakes for a split second. This is another one where you kind of need to see it in slow motion, so I'm gonna play it in slow motion with the audio. Take a look at this. Yeah, really weird. I have no explanation for it, but it happens sometimes. I'm Cartoon Corey, and here are some crazy mistakes in SpongeBob. First up is the episode Choir Boys, which has some wild mistakes. Roll the clips.
SpongeBob, I will be late to practice with all of your tomfoolery slowing me down.
Did ya catch it? As when Squidward rips off SpongeBob's fake mustache, just saying, SpongeBob looks pretty cool with a mustache. He should consider growing one out. But when Squidward rips it off, the latter's right arm is missing for a bit. That arm is gone. Look at it, it's missing, it's disappeared. Talk about a mistake, guys. Let's keep it moving though and head over to another mistake you've never seen before, so stay tuned.
Second.
Let's keep it going with SpongeBob Season 6. You know, it isn't the best season, but what I can say for sure is a lot of Season 6 episodes have mistakes. I don't know what was going on, if the animators got lazy in Season 6, but we're going to be talking about Pineapple Fever. Here is the first mistake.
Did you hear that?
Oh, it's just Patrick gnawing on his can.
So take a look at this can that Patrick is chewing on, okay? When Patrick first gets the can, it has a yellow label, as you can see right here. I'm zooming in on it, I'm circling it, as you can see, and remember guys, that label is yellow. But when SpongeBob says that the noise was Patrick chewing on the can, it now has a red label. Like, what? How did it change randomly? First it was yellow, then halfway through it changes to red. And it isn't a different can. I know this for sure. It's the same can. So the animators must have messed up and forgot that it was originally yellow. Mistakes happen, and here's another mistake in this episode. Did ya catch it? Well, if you did, I'm impressed because this one is easy to miss. But when SpongeBob looks at the chalk Squidward threw down, his lower lip is black when it's supposed to be red. I'm zooming in here, and yeah, his lower lip is black. That's SpongeBob, man. You need to go have a shower or something. I don't know how your bottom lip is black. That is gnarly, dude. But yeah, 2 mistakes in this one episode, guys. Jeez. Let's keep it moving, though, and head over to another episode. Stay tuned, guys, because I'm saving some of the craziest mistakes for last, and you don't want to miss them.
Exact change. Exactly. Clink, 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 clink.
Enough with the pennies!
Next up, let's head over to Season 12 and talk about a fairly good episode that I personally enjoyed, that being Squid on a Bus, which, I mean, the title's pretty self-explanatory for this one, guys. It's about Squidward taking the bus. It's a good episode, but like most episodes of SpongeBob, it does have 3 mistakes hidden in it, and these mistakes are really bad, guys. Here's mistake number 1.
Where's that bus? I've been waiting for almost an hour. Late again. 1 coin.
So in the opening of the episode, Squidward appears to be wearing a watch on his right wrist, right? You can see it right here. I'm zooming in on it. But seconds later, when the bus door opens, Squidward's watch is just missing now. I doubt the dude took it off to go in the bus. What I think happened is in this first shot right here, the animators drew him with a watch, but then the animators forgot about the watch because in this scene, the watch is just gone. Poof, it went missing. And that's not the only thing missing in the beginning of the episode, as there's another mistake that's kind of similar to this one. Roll the footage again.
I've been waiting for almost an hour.
Almost an hour, he says.
Did ya catch it? Well, take a look at this shot of Conch Street right here. As you can see, it goes Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and then good old SpongeBob's house right here, that old-fashioned pineapple house. Now I'm hungry. But in that opening scene, where is SpongeBob's house? It should be right there. You could say that, you know, it just wasn't on the screen, but the distance between Squidward's house and SpongeBob's house is not that wide, and I'm pretty sure the animators were just feeling kind of lazy in this scene and didn't draw SpongeBob's house, which is still technically a mistake. But wait, there's more. Here's mistake number 3. Let's see if you guys can catch this one. Man, 3 mistakes in one episode is like really bad. Nickelodeon be slacking, boy. But take a look at this shot from inside the bus when the bus starts rocking. As you can see, there are passengers inside. They're chilling inside the bus. But when we get the same shot from the outside view, why is Squidward the only one on the bus? The passengers just disappeared? They're gone? Poof? Talk about a mistake, a continuity mistake, and let's keep the video moving, guys, and head over to episode number 4. Here are 2 really quick mistakes that happen in the season 6 episode, Sandcastles in the Sand. Keep those eyes peeled, roll the footage.
Get up, Patrick, it's time.
So take a look at this shot of SpongeBob's house right here, his iconic pineapple home. I want some pineapple now. I always say this, but you know, pineapple's really good. But anyways, as you can see, SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home has a chimney on it. Even take a look at this footage from season 1. It's always been there. He's always had a chimney. But in Sandcastles in the Sand, when SpongeBob leaves his house, where is it? Where'd it go? His house is missing its chimney, and it looks really weird. This was definitely a mistake. I guess whoever animated this part of the episode forgot that SpongeBob's house has a chimney. So yeah, not that big of a deal, but definitely a mistake. And here's another one. Like I said, it's really quick.
Hey, wait! This is not our stop! No one's ever gonna find us out here!
So as you just seen, SpongeBob and Patrick get kicked off of the bus beside this road. I want you guys to remember this road right here. I'm circling it, I'm zooming in, there is a road right here, all right? Then SpongeBob says, no one is ever going to find us out here, and now this road has just disappeared, like it's gone. The road is literally just gone. It was there in this shot, now it's gone. I don't know what happened, but talk about some cartoon logic for sure. Again, I'm always gonna say, guys, this is a cartoon, so I know why this happened, but it was some weird continuity, and every time I watch this episode now, I notice it, and it looks really rough. But anyways, let's move over to another episode, let's go. You know, Plankton is a very evil guy, but have you ever wondered what would happen if SpongeBob went to work at the Chum Bucket? Well, this is exactly what happens in Welcome to the Chum Bucket, a season 2 banger. Here are some clips from the episode, it's really funny.
I lost you!
What?
I bet your contract, and I lost.
Here's the thing, guys. Most of you guys listening to this are young, so I'm not going to talk about bathing too much, but as you know, when you take a bath, you don't wear clothes, right? You take off all of your clothes, okay? Well, when SpongeBob is seen bathing in the Krusty Krab kitchen during this scene while eating an ice cream, we can see his sleeves, which is totally a mistake. SpongeBob is in the bath. He shouldn't have his sleeves on his shirt. That just makes no sense. This was like a major mistake. It's like the animators forgot to take off the sleeves when they drew this one. So yeah, a pretty bad mistake. But let's keep it moving and head over to another mistake in this episode.
This kitchen's not the same without you. It's just a
Now for this one to really make sense, I want you guys to take a look at this shot of the Chum Bucket, okay? So for one, as you can see, the Chum Bucket writing is red, okay? It's red. And the Chum Bucket writing is on the front of the restaurant, directly above the door. Right here, I'm circling it, okay? Now, in this one shot of Welcome to the Chum Bucket during the song section, it's a really good song by the way, the Chum Bucket logo is on the side of the building instead of being above the doors where it usually sits. Furthermore, the text is also blue. Now this might be due to it being nighttime, but it being dark out wouldn't change the entire color of like the text. It would still be red like it's supposed to be in this shot, but here it's blue and the text is on the wrong side. So this was just a weird one. I wouldn't call this a mistake. The animators probably just did this to make their lives easier, but that's not how it's supposed to look, guys. Next up is the episode No Free Rides. This is a classic episode, and just to refresh your memory, here are some clips from the episode.
I'd never let you have this boat, not even if you were Mrs. Puff.
What a classic episode, am I right? I love this one. Now, what I missed when I was a kid though were the mistakes in this episode. Here's the first mistake: keep those eyes peeled.
Educational television!
Did ya catch it? Now, this is more of an animation error, and it's not that big of a deal because it's a cartoon, but when SpongeBob gets grated by cheese graters, that would be a terrible way to die. His eyes come out of the cheese graters several times. This would only happen one time. His eyes would go through once, they'd be shredded. It's not like SpongeBob has multiple pairs of eyes, so this was a bit of a weird mistake on the animator's end. And that's not it for this episode. I have another one.
Booty, you're cold. Take my socks. Oh, Bodie, I'm always gonna take care of you.
So, as you just seen, SpongeBob gives the boat his socks, alright? He takes them off and gives them to the boat. But then, how does he have them back on as soon as he hops into the boat's side? Again, this is just cartoon logic, right? It's fine, but it's still a bit of a funny continuity error. It's like the dude literally just gave him his socks, now somehow he magically has them back on. Whatever.
For a second there, I mistook you for a threat, but you're just a dirty little man. So long, shrimp!
Kicking things off is the season 3 banger, The Algae's Always Greener. Here's the first mistake, roll the clip.
Even if I have to come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Okay, so see this version of Mr. Krabs right here? This is an alternate universe version of Mr. Krabs because Plankton and Mr. Krabs swap lives, right? Remember this. And as you can see, he's butt naked. He's just in his birthday suit. He's just going commando right now. This is how Mr. Krabs looks for a majority of this episode. Pretty much all of the episode where we're in, you know, the Plankton version of the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs is naked. But during this one shot, when alternate universe Mr. Krabs is leaving the Krusty Krab, some of the frames of his walking animation show him with pants on, which is totally an error because, as I mentioned, he's naked the entire episode. Mr. Krabs is always wearing pants, but in this one shot, he should be naked during the walking animation. Yeah, totally a mistake, and there's more. Here's the next mistake.
And the next day.
Phone call, Mr. Plankton.
And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. And the next day.
Now this one is way more blatant, like I don't even know how the animators missed this, but when SpongeBob gives Plankton the phone, take a look at his belt lock. Normally it's yellow, as you can see in this shot, but for some reason, for about a frame, it's red. I don't know what's up, SpongeBob. He's just switching up the drip, you know, switching up the belt buckles mid-episode. It looks good, but yeah, that's definitely a mistake. And here's another one. Roll the clip.
Bad, it's just an ordinary Krabby. Oh my goodness! Squidward!
I tried, Mr. Plankton.
This next one is weird, and it's very easy to kind of miss, but it is a mistake, trust me. So, when the camera focuses on this gnarly, dutty Krabby Patty over here, guys, would you take a bite out of this? Seriously, if I paid you $100, would you take a bite? I wouldn't. But when the camera's focusing on it, the right side of the screen has this random blue border right here. I'm putting an arrow on it. It's just randomly there, which like isn't that big of a deal. You can see it was just a little bit of a glitch in the animation or the encoding of this episode, but it's there and it shouldn't be there. So yeah, let's keep it moving over to another episode. Stay tuned, guys, because you will not believe what I have next.
Well, this record won't.
Next up, I have two really quick mistakes in the episode. Sing a Song of Patrick from season 5. Here, let's see if you guys can catch this mistake. Take a look.
Who's responsible for that song on the radio? No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, at least it got that first terrible song out of our heads.
So the mistake has to do with this incidental character right here, the iconic Fred. He's the one who's always going, my leg. Here's a quick clip.
My leg? My leg! My leg!
My leg.
My leg! My leg!
But yeah, this is Fred. And now here's the thing, guys. This mistake might not seem like that big of a deal at first because incidentals change colors and outfits all the time. But Fred actually has a lot of lines in this episode, and the change is very abrupt. So, as you can see, Fred is wearing brown pants, and he wears this for a majority of the episode. But in one scene, his pants randomly change from these brown pants to these blue pants. And don't get me wrong, dude looks fresh in both pants, you know? They're fresh pants, but it's not supposed to be like that. He should be wearing brown pants the entire episode, but it's like the animators forgot that they drew him with brown pants and then changed it to blue pants. So a weird mistake, and that's not it for this episode. Here's mistake number 2.
We should sing him a song! Who's responsible for that song on the radio?
Why, he's right here! Patrick, stop!
This next one is easy to miss because it's more of an audio error. Audio errors are always like the worst in cartoons. But when Fred says, who's re, and it stops, right, from his line, who's responsible for that song on the radio, if you watch closely, Incidental 27's lips actually sync to what Fred's saying, despite the fact that Incidental 27 isn't saying anything. So there should be no lip syncing here from Incidental 27 because Fred is the one talking. So this one's kind of complicated, but let's keep it going and talk about more mistakes, guys. I'm saving the best one for last, so stay tuned. SpongeBob Season 4 definitely isn't my favorite season, but it isn't too bad, especially because Steven Hillenburg was still somewhat involved. Now, the episode we're going to be talking about next is the episode New Leaf. Here are a bunch of funny clips from this episode before we get into the mistakes, just because I want you guys to see it. It's so funny. Alright, let's get into the mistakes. Now for this first one to make sense, I want you to take a look at this shot of Plankton, and I know it's kind of weird, but look inside his mouth. This is your hint for the mistake. Roll the clip.
I surrender! There's no pulling, crabs. Can't you see my peace offering?
So as you've seen before I played that clip, Plankton's mouth is normally red, okay? It's always red, the inside of his mouth, ever since like season 1. But for some reason in this episode, I don't know what's going on, it's purple. It's never been purple before, and it's never been purple again. So whoever colored Plankton's mouth this time needs to go back and educate themselves on SpongeBob, because his mouth is supposed to be red. Anyways though, let's move over to another mistake. Roll the footage.
I never give you the formula!
This is just another strange one. So after Plankton opens the gotcha letter, Mr. Krabs bursts through the door of the Chum Bucket. And now it's important to note that normally the Chum Bucket's door looks like this. It's red with round windows, okay? Remember this. But when Mr. Krabs bursts through, the door is randomly transparent with rectangular knobs. It's never looked like this before. It's weird that they just changed the design of the doors to the Chum Bucket in this episode randomly. Like, this is an example of the type of stuff that happens in season 4, 5, and 6. There's just no continuity, but whatever. Mistakes happen. A weird one, but hey, let's keep it moving. Okay, up next is the Patty Caper from season 6, or the Patty Capper. Here's some clips from this episode. It's really funny.
Something happens to that secret ingredient. Don't bother coming back to work.
Where is it? Where is it?
This first mistake is really funny. I don't know how this mistake even happened. Roll the footage.
Hang back. I'm going in for a closer look.
So as you know, the inside of Sandy's tree dome has air and water can't get in, right? But at one point of this episode, SpongeBob digs a tunnel to Sandy's tree dome underground. But for some reason, the tree dome does not fill entirely with water via the tunnel, despite the fact that the water flows into the tree dome. It like stops when this should have flooded Sandy's entire tree dome, guys. They're undersea, and this made an opening from the ocean into Sandy's tree dome. It wouldn't just fill with a little bit of water. They would drown. So yeah, I don't know what happened here, but here's another mistake.
Whoa!
Hey, don't I got a say in this?
I'll see you later, SpongeBob. Things are getting...
First up is the season 2 banger, Bubble Buddy. I love this episode. SpongeBob gets his own Bubble Buddy in this episode, and it really bothers Squidward. But this episode is full of mistakes, guys. There's spicy mistakes hidden in this episode. I'm gonna show clips, and let's see if you guys can spot those mistakes.
Wait, there's cheese on these patties.
And?
Bubble Buddy's lactose intolerant. He can't eat cheese.
Were you able to catch mistake number 1? It's very easy to miss. Like, you need the eyes of a hawk to catch this one because it's so small. But when SpongeBob tells Squidward that Bubble Buddy is lactose intolerant, I have no idea how a person made of bubbles could be lactose intolerant, SpongeBob. But anyways, if you look closely, part of SpongeBob's top right corner detaches from his body. Again, it's very easy to miss, so I'm kind of zooming in on it, but look at that piece of SpongeBob's head just kind of floating there. That is an animation mistake, and hey, I can't really blame the animators, it's easy to miss. But this next mistake in this episode, I don't know how they missed it. Here are some clips.
I won't let you. Here we go. You'll never catch us now.
Now for this one, you really need to be keeping an eye on our boy Squidward over here, as take a look at this footage from the episode Culture Shock when Squidward does his iconic dance. Look at those fresh dance moves. As you can see, Squidward has 6 legs. It's always been this way even since the first episode of SpongeBob. This man has 6 tentacles. But when SpongeBob inflates Bubble Buddy to escape the angry crowd, Squidward is drawn with an extra leg. This dude just randomly gets an entirely extra tentacle, which is just a clear mistake. Whoever drew the animation in this episode forgot that Squidward only has 6 legs, which is definitely a mistake. But let's keep it moving, guys.
Check it out! Doesn't that look fun?
Season 8's Pet Sitter Pat is an interesting episode where Patrick is left in charge to watch Gary. As you can imagine, this was not a very good idea on SpongeBob's end, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about mistakes, baby. Let's get into mistake number 1. Roll the footage. Let's see if you guys can catch this one.
Yellow.
Patrick at SpongeBob, how's Gary?
Oh, Gary. Oh, yeah, he's fine.
This one is super easy, guys. Like, you all should have caught this one. You don't even need me to tell ya. I'm expecting you guys to know already. But this is how a normal phone looks, right? And as you know, phones normally have 10 number digits on them, right? There's 10 number digits on an actual phone. But I don't know what kind of phone good old Grandma SquarePants is using, because look, it only has 7 number dials, which is totally a mistake. I know they're in Bikini Bottom, but we've seen phones in other episodes of SpongeBob, and they have the right number of digits, so this was definitely a mistake. It's a funny one, to be honest, but let's keep it moving and move over. So when you get old, like your big brother Corey over here, all right, your big brother cartoon Corey, I'm turning old, I'm getting old, Sundays become like a very important day. It's like your day off because you're working all the time. So I'm not surprised that Squidward gets so annoyed at SpongeBob and Patrick for ruining his Sunday off in the episode Good Neighbors. I'm gonna get into the mistakes as this episode has a whopping 3 mistakes, holy, but here, take a look at the plot for yourself. It's actually a really good one. We'll get into the mistakes right after, though.
Good morning, Squidward.
SpongeBob, what are you doing in my house?
I came to make sure you don't oversleep and miss work.
It's Sunday!
I feel bad for Squidward in this one. Man is busting his butt at the Krusty Krab all the time, working hard, dealing with SpongeBob, all right, dealing with Mr. Krabs and his greedy butt, and then SpongeBob and Patrick ruin his Sunday off. Poor Squidward, but guys, be prepared as I'm about to ruin your childhood. Take a look at this mistake.
However.
What's that, Squidward?
It's Sunday! Our good neighbor doesn't bother me on Sunday!
This is another one that just makes you laugh, like, a lot, as when Squidward angrily throws SpongeBob out, he's seen wearing his regular clothes. You can see it right here, his regular OG fit. But in the very next shot, dude is now wearing his pajamas, and this happens in a matter of seconds. Like, literally, he's seen in his regular clothes, and then the scene changes, and now he's in his pajamas. Weird continuity error, but let's keep it moving, guys. I've got a couple more episodes coming up.
Target in range.
No way!
Hey, where do you want this life-size cutout of you, Mr. Krabs?
No!
Now, this next mistake can be found in the episode The Inside Job, and I'll admit it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a mistake. So hear me out real quick. Here are the clips with the mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch this one.
It's located in the heart.
How cheesy.
So as you just saw, Plankton can be seen sliding down SpongeBob's spine. However, SpongeBob should not even have a spine, guys, because he's a sponge and sponges are invertebrates. This is also a cartoon though, so I'm definitely overthinking this one, but I still wanted to include it. Like SpongeBob, if he was a legitimate sponge, like a sea sponge, he wouldn't have a spine. So let's move on to the next episode, which has much better mistakes than this one. These next mistakes are amazing. Some of my favorite characters in SpongeBob lore are the superhero or supervillain characters, especially Man Ray or the Dirty Bubble, which is why I especially love the episode Dirty Bubble Returns, which is about the Dirty Bubble actually being a character again in the show. Here are some hilarious clips from the episode.
Dirt. Beautiful dirt.
It's a funny episode, right? It's got some really funny clips and it's awesome to see the Dirty Bubble back in action. But what isn't so nice to see is the mistake in this episode. It's very, very subtle and easy to miss, but the mistake itself is actually really bad. Here's the clip. So throughout this episode, we'll get clips of these like comic panels that relate to what's going on. And in the last Dirty Bubble Returns comic panel, when SpongeBob hugs Clean Bubble, his right arm and hand are transparent. Like, look at that dude. His right arm and hand are just see-through. The animators completely forgot to color it in, and that is a blatant mistake. That's a bad mistake.